Hey, today we're going to be making a giant LeatherKrang from the IDW TMNT comics. And to start, I have this giant killer Croc from DC Comics. But he's got a real crocodile face, more than usual you see in Killer Croc. It just sticks out a lot. But when you see him from the side, usually it's more human face. But I drilled a hole in his bottom for his tail. And then I was going to sand off his abs, but the plastic is so hard and dry that I gave up. It would be too long and I didn't want to do it. Anyway, I have aluminum foil and I made a long snake out of it by just rolling it up, and then I taped that to the stick, or it's a craft dowel that's gonna go in the hole that I drilled, and I tape it to the stick, and then I roll up on the stick until I get the length that I want. And now I'm just bunching it up and wrapping it around more tin foil until I get the full shape of the tail, because he needs a tail. This Killer Croc didn't come with a tail, but you can see that Leatherhead came with a tail. And then he ate Krang and he didn't chew before he swallowed, and then Krang popped out of his stomach and can't control him. And I guess it happened in the Armageddon game in the IDW TMNT comics. But I have Apoxie Sculpt now, and I taped a piece of tinfoil, a ball of tinfoil, to his stomach there. And then I put Apoxie Sculpt, just a flat layer of it, and I'm getting the basic shape. And I put the eyes, and I drew in the teeth. Well, I cut in the teeth, or carved in the teeth, sculpted in the teeth. Yeah, so there's a few different artist renditions I was going off of, but I stuck in foil arms for him so I could shape them how I want, but they're just staying in that position. And I'm gonna cover now, after that first round of Apoxie Sculpt dried, doing all the details and stuff. So because I wanted to get the eyes in place and the mouth in place, but I put lips on him and made his brow bigger and some ridges on his forehead, and then I covered all those foil arms with Apoxie Sculpt, and he has got a bunch of like that one kind of branching out his Krang flesh or whatever. Now I was thinking about how to do the tail, and I wanted to make it light, and I wanted to still be able to come on and off, because it's going to take a lot of space already, because it's a 12-inch figure. And I'm just doing like, what's it called, paper mache, but with paper towel and Mod Podge, and then mix Mod Podge with water, or any PVA glue will do. And I put the straight glue onto the foil and then stick it on, and then use the water and glue to smooth it out and flatten it out. And then I pinched in a ridge on the back, or on the top of the tail, I guess. And now I mix those two greens. I want to try to kind of match the color that he is, and then I mix yellow with those two greens to get the yellow. And now I'm covering everything with the matte acrylic varnish, and that's going to help the paint to stick on the next steps, because otherwise it wouldn't stick to the plastic how it is, or how the plastic is, or yeah. Now the tail wasn't dark enough, so I have a green wash, and I add some black to it to make it darker, and I'm going over the tail with that because I just want the tail to match. I'm still gonna paint him a different green, but it's better if all the pieces match, and then when you paint over, because if I'm painting over white, it's going to be a lot brighter than if I paint over the dark green that he is. And that's kind of the point there, I guess. So now I have that green. I mixed leaf green and hunter green to get the green that I wanted for him. And now I'm just I'm heavy dry brush, I guess. I'm putting it everywhere, but I'm trying to leave some of the cracks and stuff, or just the inside of the scales darker, so that it looks more popping out and pronounced. But in a lot of places it just got the paint in there, because I just spread it out all over. Yeah, and now I have that same yellow that I used, or yellow and green that I mixed, and I'm going over his chest with that, and I go a little up his neck, and I go over the tail again with both colors. And yeah. And there were a lot of details on this guy that were just not painted, or not painted, or that were just not painted. And so I'm gonna bring all those out, like the skin inside his pants where the pants are ripped, and I'm gonna paint his belt and those shackles that are on his belt. And first I'm gonna mix some white with the yellow to go over his teeth, because I got some green on his teeth when I was painting it green, but that's okay, it's easy to fix. Now I mix some raw sienna with that yellow and white mix, and that's going to give me just a dirty white to go over his wraps and stuff. And I painted his wraps green so that when I paint it with this white, it's not just a super even brighter white, because the wraps on his wrists were the only ones that were painted, but he had wraps on his feet and his hands that were just the green plastic of the rest of his green body. Yeah, I mixed pink with red. I wanted it to be a little darker than this, but it was like 50-50. I thought it would be darker, but that's okay. In the old cartoon, he's a really bright pink, and it makes him look more menacing, I guess, or more crazy the brighter it is. Yeah, that makes sense. Now I'm covering everything I painted with that same matte acrylic varnish, and it's going to seal everything up so it won't get scratched and everything will kind of blend together. And I'd gone over his pants with the raw sienna, just a light coat, but kind of to make it look dirty and still orange. I mixed white with that pink I had used earlier, and now I'm just dry brushing over his, I guess his face or his crangness. Yeah, just to give it a lighter pink, and then it's darker underneath so everything pops out more. And then I go with the kind of raw sienna brown wash over all his wraps and the belt, and then I do a black wash around his hands and around the chains, which were white, so I painted them silver and try to get some black wash in between those to make that pop out, but in some spots on his feet and stuff too. And that's him. That's the tail. It's good that it comes off, because I still don't know where I'm going to put him. I might have to even display him without the tail. But that Krang is, Utram is surprised that that happened. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, remember, always keep your head up. Peace.